I've always said the internet knows too much. But I never thought it would know something about my own life. Before I did. It started with a comment. Something feels off about him. Watch his eyes. I ignored it. You get weird replies when you're a woman with a platform. 700,000 followers means constant noise. Trolls. Conspiracies. Obsessions. But then there were more. He looks at the camera like he's hiding something. Anyone else catch what he said at 2:17? Girl, run. At first, I laughed. I mean, what were they even talking about? My fiancé? The man who made me coffee every morning and kissed my forehead before meetings? But the comments didn't stop. They got sharper. More specific. And one night, someone wrote. Check his tattoos. They're not new. That's when I opened the video again. Paused. Zoomed in. And everything changed. His name is Ryan. Or at least, that's what he told me. We met a year ago. A conference panel, shared Uber, then dinner. He was funny. Confident. Knew just the right things to say. And for a while, he felt like peace. I never did a background check. Never felt the need. He showed up on time, had a steady job. And made my life feel less lonely. But after that comment about the tattoos, I started noticing things. Like the fact that his answers about his past were always almost detailed. But never too specific. Where'd you go to college? Up north, small liberal arts place. Nothing fancy. What did you study? Communications. But I dropped out. He was charming. Polished. But now, every vague answer echoed louder. And the tattoo? It was barely visible in the video. A glimpse on his wrist while he helped me with the tripod. 3 sharp lines. Faded. I'd never seen it before. Not once in the months we'd lived together. And now, I couldn't unsee it. At first, I didn't take it seriously. I mean, comment sections are chaos. Everyone's an expert. Everyone's anonymous. But something about this one was different. Beneath my latest video. The one where Ryan helps me set up the studio. Someone had written. That man's not who he says he is. It had 1 like. I almost deleted it. Thought it was just another troll. But the next day. A second comment. Check his arm. Left wrist. The mark. My stomach turned. That night, when Ryan went to bed, I pulled up every video he'd appeared in. Zoomed in. Frame by frame. And there it was. Barely visible under the cuff of his sweater. The same shape. The same mark. I searched it. Nothing came up, until I stopped looking for tattoos. And started searching prison gang brands. And there it was. 3 lines. Old design. Affiliated with a group that no longer existed. Officially. I didn't sleep that night. And the next morning. There were 5 more comments. He's been seen before. Check public records. Don't go live again until you know the truth. And the worst one? You look just like her. Her who? I didn't know. But something told me. They did. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to look. But curiosity and fear make a brutal team. I dug through Ryan's tagged photos. Back when he still used Facebook. There weren't many. But one stood out. A blurry group shot from 2016. Barbecue. Backyard. 3 women, 2 men. One of the women looked familiar. Not because I knew her. Because she looked just like me. Same build. Same dark hair. Even the same birthmark near her collarbone. I clicked the tag. Melissa Crane. I searched the name. The first result? A local newspaper headline. Disappearance of Melissa Crane still unsolved after 7 years. I clicked. My hands shook. Disappeared without a trace. Last seen with friends. No known suspect. Police investigated all leads. And then this detail. She had recently started dating someone new. Someone she didn't talk much about. His name was never released. I knew what I had to do. I typed into the comments section under the latest video. Who was Melissa Crane to him? I didn't expect an answer. But I got one. You mean his ex-fiancée? And then. She never made it to the wedding. I stared at that comment for what felt like hours. Ex-fiancée? Ryan had never mentioned an engagement. Never even said her name. I messaged the user who left the comment. A private account. No profile picture. Just a name, Kate_reads_truecrime. She replied almost instantly. Melissa and Ryan were engaged for 6 months. It ended badly. She vanished a week after their breakup. Police questioned him, but there wasn't enough to hold him. It never made the big news. Local coverage only. I asked how she knew. I went to college with her. We were close until she got with him. After that, it was like she disappeared before she disappeared. I sat there, numb. Because suddenly, the quiet moments started to feel curated. Ryan's obsession with privacy. The way he avoided talking about his past. The weird tension in his voice when he asked where I'd been. And then I remembered something else. The box. In the back of the closet. Labeled miscellaneous. Ryan never let me move it. That night, when he was at the gym. I opened it. Inside. A phone. Old. Cracked. Still turned on. And when I unlocked the screen. The wallpaper stopped me cold. It wasn't a landscape. Not a dog. Not a quote. It was a photo. Of Melissa. I should have stopped. Closed the box. Put the phone back. Pretended I'd never seen it. But I didn't. The phone had no SIM card. No service. But it was synced to Wi-Fi, automatically. I opened the text app. Nothing in sent. But in drafts, there were messages. All addressed to one number. Unsent. Unread. I don't feel safe. He's getting worse. I think he's watching my phone. If I disappear, check the lake house. The lake house. Ryan had mentioned it once, offhand. Said his parents had sold it. Said he hadn't been there in years. I took screenshots. Emailed them to myself. And then, I made the biggest mistake I could have made. I didn't close the app. Didn't lock the phone. Didn't put it back exactly the way it was. Because 20 minutes later, Ryan came home. And he didn't kiss me hello. Didn't take off his shoes. He walked straight into the closet. And opened the box. He stood there, still, quiet, holding the phone in his hand. Not looking at me. Not saying anything. Just thinking. And when he finally spoke, his voice was calm. Measured. Too measured. I told you not to go through my stuff. I didn't answer. Couldn't. Because the look on his face wasn't anger. It was disappointment. Like I'd ruined something he'd carefully planned. Where'd you find it? He asked. I lied. It was on the floor. I thought it was mine. He didn't believe me. I knew it. But he just nodded once and put the phone in his pocket. That night, I didn't sleep. I waited until he passed out. Then packed a bag, grabbed my keys, and left. I didn't have a plan. Just an address. The lake house. If she'd written that before she disappeared. There had to be a reason. I drove through the night. No GPS. Just memory, and a screenshot she'd sent me months ago. The lake house porch, sunlit, with a caption. Peace. Finally. But peace isn't the word I'd use when I pulled up. The house looked abandoned. Shutters crooked. Grass overgrown. No car in the driveway. I parked down the road. Walked the rest of the way. At the front door, nothing. No sound. No signs of anyone. I tried the handle. Unlocked. Inside. Dusty furniture, cold air, a faint smell of damp wood and forgotten summers. But on the kitchen counter. A coffee mug. Still half full. And beside it, a notepad. One word, written in quick, messy letters. Watched. I turned around, heart racing. Because that wasn't a note from last summer. That was fresh. And whoever wrote it. They left it for me. I moved through the lake house like I was underwater. Quiet, heavy, bracing for what I didn't want to find. Then I saw it. On the bookshelf, tucked between two old paperbacks. A small black lens, barely visible. A hidden camera. Not dusty. Not old. Live. Wired into the wall. A blinking light behind the panel confirmed it. Someone was watching this place. Still. I followed the cable, tracing it through the drywall. Until it led to a locked cabinet in the office. The key was in the drawer. Inside. A monitor. A recording system. And a small stack of labeled USBs. Each one marked with initials. Dates. But one label stopped me cold. JM/cabin/last 48H. JM. Jessica Moore. The woman who was last seen here. The one everyone said ran away. I plugged it in. And there she was. Not running. Not scared. Just, pacing the living room. Talking to someone off screen. Then suddenly stopping. Staring directly into the hidden lens. As if she knew. And when she spoke. It was just one sentence. If anyone finds this, don't trust the story. I watched the last clip in silence. Jessica didn't look scared. She looked resolved. Like someone who knew there was no turning back. Before the video ended, she reached into her pocket. Pulled out a folded note. Held it up to the camera. If you found this, it means someone finally listened. Then she walked away. Off screen. And that was it. The screen went black. I exhaled. Finally. But the silence that followed didn't feel like relief. It felt like warning. As I moved to eject the USB, I noticed something strange. A second folder. Not visible at first. Untitled. Hidden. No timestamp. No author. Inside. Photos. Screenshots. Not of Jessica. Of me. Leaving my car. Standing outside the cabin. Looking into the window. All from earlier today. I hadn't seen any cameras. I hadn't told anyone where I was going. And that's when I understood. Jessica hadn't sent the flash drive. Someone else did. Someone who wanted me to see her story. And then, become part of it. I sat still for a long time. The lamp above my desk buzzed faintly, casting a pale circle of light. Outside, it was already dark. Too quiet. The screenshots on the flash drive weren't just surveillance. They were recent. Down to the minute. One image showed me, standing in the exact position I was in now. Frozen. Looking at the screen. That meant. Whoever made that file? They were watching me. Right then. My first instinct was to shut everything down. Delete the folder. Smash the USB. But I didn't. Instead, I opened a blank document. Started typing. Because that's what I do. I don't run. I write. And maybe that's why I was chosen. Maybe this was never Jessica's story. Maybe it was mine all along. You ever feel like a story finds you? Not the other way around? That's what this feels like. Like someone handed me the next chapter. And now it's mine to finish. So here I am. Writing it all down. Because if you're reading this, it means you've seen what I've seen. And you have a choice. Forget it. Or follow the trail. But know this. The trail doesn't end with Jessica. And it definitely doesn't end with me. Because someone out there is still watching. And stories like this? They don't end. They multiply.